There we go. Going live now. Okay, hello everyone. I hope you can hear me well. There we go. Okay. So I'm gonna quickly make sure all of the add-ons are enabled. Wait. Uh-oh. Screencast keys is disabled. I don't like that. Come on, enable it by default. There we go. Ah, Jesus. Perfect. Okay. Ah, I see some first replies. Okay, everything's working fine. Nice. Okay. So, welcome everyone to, I would say, pretty much the final stream on the retopology of Snow. So this is part 8. So collectively now I've been working like 2 months on this character, or like on the retopology specifically. I've worked on the character before, but if we just tally up the numbers, I've been like on average, I guess, like working 2 hours, maybe a bit like more than 2 hours per stream on this character. So I've technically worked on Snow on the retopology 2 working days, or like 2.5 working days. I would say that's pretty good. Like that means that in half a week, or like less than half a week, I can finish the retopology of a character. But to be fair, I would say the retopology of Snow was not that complicated. Like, at least in terms of like what I was doing before, like most of the problems that I was facing, I already knew the answers. So it was a bit more smooth sailing. It wasn't as complicated as some of the characters on the Sprite Fright short movie, which they need to pull off some more insane facial animation. So, let's see. I'm also going to turn on some nice music. Yes. Perfect. I'm gonna turn down the volume a bit for me. Nice. Okay. I hope the volume is fine for you as well. And again, if you... hold on. If you have any questions, you can just tag me directly in the chat. To be honest, I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna pin a comment, so that might actually be more useful than saying it constantly. So if you have any questions, tag at Blender Studio. Okay, I'm gonna just do that, post that comment. Here we go. And I'm gonna try to pin it. So pin message. This is the first time I'm doing it, so I wonder what that does. I hope now you will actually see it at the top of the chat. That would be amazing. Yes, I can even see it now. Awesome. Okay, I also see some first question. When is the Sprite Fright movie going to come out? Any date? Well, we are aiming for like around Halloween, so October should be the date. But yeah, this is pretty much the month for a horror comedy movie to come out. So we will do our best to bring it out during that time. To be honest, like after this stream is done, I would like to like more interchangeably switch it up with different types of streams, like not just work on Snow, but maybe also some stuff on Sprite Fright. That would be really good. But right now I'm mainly just doing set dressing. So if you're interested in that, I mean, I can do that. But we will see. Yes, this year, October. The movie is in full-on production, so it shouldn't take that much longer. So, but back to Snow. So, this was the original sculpt, and now if I just turn on the retopology, I mean, I can just like select all of these objects, go into edit mode. We can see I have basically retopologized all of the objects. I will need to do some cleaning up, like get rid of all the creases and sharps and all that stuff, but there was something more pressing to do. I'm going to hide all of these objects, and I just want to show the pants. Because, oh, both pants objects, I actually had two. So if I go into edit mode, over here, this is what I want to finish. So let's see. Also, I'm going to hide the, let's see, hide the shoes. Okay. Still lots of stuff to do. Oh my god. Now I see all the questions. Set dressing sounds interesting. Are we gonna get any human sculpting live stream? That would be nice. I mean, and like so far I only live streamed like the snail, I think, the chunky snail, and the sheep dragon Michelle. So human sculpting would be great, but right now there's no plan for that really. Maybe I could put some, like do a live stream on human sculpting, just 1 or 2. That would be nice. Oh, damn it. I need to update my theme in the description. You can download it, but I did one little experimental update, which is in object mode, selections are orange, and in edit mode, selections are turquoise, which was like an experimental thing during 2.8 alpha, if you can remember. But I brought it back just to try it out and see if this is actually something I want to have. Let's see if this is actually nice. Okay, so I did pretty much all the basic retopology. I still have this as a separate object because this is symmetrical while these are asymmetrical. So this object currently has a mirror modifier, these ones don't. So I have basically everything retopologized. But what I would like to do is to define, let's see, to define the topology even more. Like right now there's like triangles, it's kind of rough. And I want to do the same treatment as I did for the shirt. So let's do that. So first I'm going to handle all of the creases. So I think I already started here. Yeah, I already started on the knee over here. So if I go over here and turn on, yes. This should subdivide nice and smoothly. Okay. So that's already good. But there's more to it. So first off, I'm going to just slide some of this stuff over. What do you think about having the wires in edit mode turquoise? I think it's actually kind of nice, but one of the things I have to say about it is it's sometimes a bit hard to see the difference between the turquoise and a sharp, since a sharp is cyan. That's why I made the turquoise color even more greenish. Well, I mean, it's different enough, but I guess you could say the same about the red of a seam and the orange of a selection. I don't know. So far, I can't really complain. Okay, so let's see. I would like to select this part over here and bevel it. Maybe get this over here. Oh, I'm just gonna do this. Oh, and turn on snapping. I want to keep snapping. Okay. Wait. So what if I do this? Like I can remove this edge and remove this one. And now I have, yeah, this is better. And again, I want to avoid having any vertices with more than 5 connected edges. Avoid that at all costs. Okay. Okay, now I can like bevel this one. Let's see. slide this in here. There we go. And now I just need to somehow get rid of this. It's not gonna be easy. So I have a triangle here. I have a triangle. Wait, I have no triangle here. It's easy. Some more questions. Since MantaFlow is gonna get integrated with particle nodes of everything nodes, I would sell my soul to watch that live stream. That would be nice. Some like node live streams. As if it's geometry nodes, shader nodes, anything. Well, I need to get into that system still. I'm still a bit of a noob when it comes to, especially geometry nodes. I've been struggling a bit with using those. Okay. Let's see. I can push this down over here. There we go. Well, kinda, I guess. I can abuse this loop to sharpen this one. Yeah, it kinda works. Why not? But what I would actually want to do here is to actually bevel this loop over here. Let's do that again, make it a bit sharper. Which means I actually have another loop over here, which I can bridge. I can get rid of this edge over here, and there we go. And now I have that problem over here. I'm just shifting around that triangle. It's not good. Some more questions. How do you set up that X-ray look for retopology? Well, it's in the overlays. It's hidden wire. So, I mean, it also works for just regular shading. And it will just make sure all the faces are not visible. So you can only see the vertices and edges. But the faces are still obscuring everything behind it. So it's really a good overlay to use for retopology. And it works in Eevee too. So that's why I'm currently also using Eevee a bit. What's wrong with having triangles? Well, this is going to be a retopology specifically for films, and in there we typically subdivide the mesh, and triangles cause some really ugly pinching on the surfaces. So triangles and n-gons, that's typically something that you would either want to avoid or hide away somewhere where it's not visible. Let's see. Man, at some point I need to get rid of that n-gon over here. Okay, for now, it's all good. At least on this and these, but oh, there's a triangle here. Oh, that's perfect. So, for example, if I would just do this, I mean, there's a triangle here, and there's a triangle here. Maybe I could bridge that. So, yeah, I'm gonna try that. So I'm just gonna do this. So the triangle is one higher. And right now I caused a bit of an infinite loop over here. Okay. Let's see. I'm just gonna... What if I just select this entire loop over here, just push it down, get rid of this. It's not the best solution, but especially because there's some really... Oh no. Yeah, I don't like how some of this stuff is like looping infinitely. Let's undo this. Just real quick. Some more. Reading the chat. What's are you going to rig this in Blend Rig 5? No. Well, if this is going to get rigged, it's going to be rigged by our in-house rigger Demeter. And this will likely use like our own rig system, Cloud Rig, which is based on Rigify. But still, that's what we're going to use. Okay, wait. Keeping this clean is going to be quite a task. Okay. So I need to make sure that, I mean, I can just put these in here. I need to make sure that this loop is going all the way around here and leading back into itself. I want to avoid as much spiraling as possible. That's going to be the main challenge of today, just with these folds. It's not easy, but it can be done. What about up here? So over here, this one goes around and it just kind of ends there. Huh. Oh well. Okay, now it's kind of working, but I have these issues. Well, maybe I can do something clever here. I could like... This all kind of leads back into itself, right? Is it? No, not at all. Damn it. But I can still try. Wow. I don't know. To a certain extent, I can't avoid spiraling down here, but I still wanted to try. I see a question actually. Can you... Oh, it was retracted. Well, the question was still solid. It's like if I can copy over my work onto the other leg. Sadly, no, because it's asymmetric. But that is also why I split off this into two different objects. One which has the mirror modifier and one which has not, but I can still go into edit mode on both. Let's see. Okay. So I'm going to split this anyway. And I want to... Wow, let's just do this. Since that's kind of where that part was going. I'm going to bevel this. It should be good because I can just bridge this with J, like this. Get rid of these two edges, like that. Now I just need to think of what to do with these guys. Okay. Okay, I need to bevel this part as well anyway. I can just push this over here. Well, I can use the knife tool to just kind of keep cutting till I get over here. Oh, good. Okay, perfect. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Merge this. Like this, maybe? Yeah, I created again some spiraling. It's not good. Yeah, ideally this needs to be resolved because then the spiraling is kind of kept to a minimum. But then I have this triangle here, which is not great. Perhaps I can get rid of it another way. Like I can just keep pushing these guys down. Keep pushing this guy up. Bam. Now I can emphasize this form over here as well. Okay. I hope you can follow. It's a bit I'm like doing things a bit fast and intuitively. Okay, still have this triangle over here, which I somehow need to get rid of. Which I can easily do, probably, by just bridging these guys. Well, I mean, that's at least how I get rid of one of them. Hold on. Like this. Maybe. I have a lot of poles right next to each other right now. Not a huge fan of that. But it's going in the right direction, I would say. Okay, well, what if I take this, bevel it, no. What am I doing? Okay. Oh, Jesus. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna merge all of these. That's tricky. Well, I need to bevel this one anyway. And that's great because now I have two triangles on each side, which I can merge. But now this triangle is a bit far on this side. So now I have like 6 connected edges on one vertex. I do not want that. So if I do this, I still have 6. There we go. I offsetted them a bit. Okay, it looks good. This does not, but maybe it's fine. Okay, now I'm like trying to look around the other side over here. I don't know if it actually works. I want to see, can I clip one side away? Not an Eevee. That's a bit sad. Okay. Oh, I have a triangle here. a triangle here, and all the way on the other side I have another triangle. So I could try to bridge these. So if I select this entire loop all the way until here and bevel it, slide this into here, slide these vertices over here. Got rid of the one triangle on that side, and now I can just delete this edge. Well, dissolve that edge, and I got rid of another triangle. There we go. Only problem is I wanted to have this, like, keep this going for a little bit. Can I, like, continue this for a little bit? Come on. Okay. I'll have these loops continue all the way until here, and wait, one more. And then have them merge over here. Not directly on here, which I wanted to do a moment ago, because I'm going to later bevel this edge for the seam. But I don't need to do that now. I see a question. One moment. You've probably explained this already, but would you ideally just have closed loops all the way down the leg? Or what would that result in? Well, I could, but the reason why I'm retopologizing this to follow the structure of these folds more directly is so that I have the minimum amount of loops possible. Like, I could, like, just have closed loops all the way down and just subdivide the hell out of it, and then it should somewhat follow the shape. Or I could bake the details into a displacement texture, subdivide the hell out of it during rendering, and add the folds. But the folds are not going to change. Like, these folds will always be there, so I could just retopologize them in, and then they will be visible on the highest resolution, on the highest subdivision, and on the lowest subdivision, so animators could see this too. If it only happens during rendering, it doesn't quite help for the animation. And also, I'm not planning on simulating the clothing, so it's okay to just model in the folds. This is going to be a not very expensive character to render. It's not going to be very complicated with cloth simulation and stuff like that. It's going to be more on the simple side. But that means I need to already model some stuff in. Okay, I'm going to also select this edge over here. Subdivide it, as well as this one, which actually goes all the way around. No, it doesn't. It can go all the way until here. No, all the way until here. I want to do 2 bevels, because then I have 2 triangles over here on this side, which I could then just form into quads. Perfect. Same thing on the other side. Just move one vertex, press like G twice, and then I can just with J split one of these, leave this one down, and like just by dissolving edges with Control X. And now these 2 edges should at least lead back into each other. These 2 loops over here. Perfect. Okay, I think this part of the leg is pretty much done, which means I can hop on to the other side. Some more questions. Okay, first one. Why is there still not some sort of AI which could solve this triangle n-gon puzzle? Well, I don't think this is going to be like a workflow, like retopology is going to be something that is going to be fully automatic anytime soon. The workflow that I'm using right now is fully manual, which is very time consuming. I think I'm relatively fast with it, so it's not that time consuming, as long as this is like for a main character where we want to have a lot of control over it. But a more semi-automatic workflow would be very nice. It would be very welcome. And I mean, you can look at tools like Retopology add-ons, which handle this very well, I think. Where you can have tools which essentially give you some more freedom on just solving the puzzle, but not really manually doing a lot of stuff. Like, I'm also using add-ons like the F2 add-on, which ships with Blender by default, which makes this much more comfortable to do. But ideally at some point you should be more free to just define what is the general edge flow that your topology is following and what is your target resolution, and then it just does that kind of semi-automatically, but you still have control over where your poles are, where the direction changes, which is still important. Like, you need to solve this puzzle. Your tools are not going to do that for you. If you try to use something like the ZBrush remesher, which does give some great results if you don't want too much control over it, but it will not give you the most optimal result. The most optimal result you need to do yourself. Okay, well, again over here, I already have the general edge flow laid out, which I'm pretty happy with. You can like bevel this edge. You can also mark this edge over here and bevel it. And I can also mark this edge and bevel it. Same story over here. Perfect. And then same story over here. And now these loops are still leading into themselves, and there's a little like a diamond quad over here, which is like splitting this loop into 3 and then closing it back into 1 over here. Just so I can have 2 neighboring loops over here to hold this sharp edge during subdivision, and the same down here, which is going to give some nice definition. Okay. Well, same thing over here, really. I think. No, I don't need it. I can just push this one down. There we go. But here, same thing. I want to bevel this one, and I want to bevel this one. Actually, let me undo that. Also, I can just select the edges, so I can bevel these at the same time. Oh, again, I also don't want to have the beveling end directly on where I want to place the seam later on over here. There we go. And I did it again. God damn it. Okay. Well. Did I do it again? Yeah, kinda. So I can just bevel this one also. And merge these two. Slide this one into each other, and did it in this direction. It actually needs to go one further. There we go. Okay, and then there's still one over here technically, but I'm not going to bevel this one instead. I'm not going to bevel this one. What I'm going to do instead, I'm going to just add an edge loop, push this one up. And I can even go into sculpt mode. And I can use the slight relax brush to just calm down the rest of the loops over here. There we go. I've been neglecting the chat a bit. Are you going to... Wait. What PC do you use? You can find some more specs in the description. Are you going to rig this character too? Not me, but this character is going to be rigged, and once finished, you can download it for free. Do you also use other 3D softwares like Maya and ZBrush? Not currently. Although I would love to go back into some other texturing applications like Substance. It's been too long. But mainly I'm using Blender right now, especially because for production at the Blender Studio we are basically just using open source software. But I have been using a lot of other applications. Maya not as much, but mainly Softimage when it was still alive. Maya only for like a brief period for a couple years, when everyone transitioned over from Softimage. Wait, is this the legs or the pants? I see someone asks. These are actually the pants. The legs are already retopologized. So I don't need to work on those, but the legs are going to be hidden anyway. So the pants topology is actually much more important. That one is the one that is going to be visible. Okay, some of the... there's going to be some sculpted in creases that are so going like against the flow of topology right now. I'm going to leave them out. Like this one. Maybe I'm going to get that one through... Like for example, I could just add another loop over here. And maybe I can just like get this once for the silhouette for free. But I'm not going to focus on that one. These are much more important. These ones down here. Okay, so for example, this one, I would like to have it subdivided all the way until here, and this one as well until here. I'm going to subdivide. Well, bevel. I'm going to bevel these two. And then again, make sure the triangles, the two triangles, get turned into a quad. But do it the same way on both sides. So if I would like this loop is leading back into itself and this loop is leading back into itself. I don't want any spiraling to happen. There we go. There's another question. What version of Blender do you use? Well, you can read it at the bottom right of the screen. It's version 3.0 alpha right now. It's not the latest alpha version right now. I refuse to update for the stream because it actually broke one of my add-ons. So, and I need that. So I'm going to update later, but it's almost the most up-to-date version. Right now there's not a lot that changed in 3.0, but 3.0 is going to get developed for a while still, for a few months, so lots of things can still change. Pretty much looking forward to that. Okay, let's see. Okay, Again, I think I'm going to just default to, if I have these triangles over here, I will always lead the top one down, just to not confuse myself. So if I'm now on the other side doing the same thing, hold on, over here, I can just, again, do this, lead the top one down. This way I can just be sure that these ones are leading back into themselves. Perfect. Okay. Ooh, can I just... Let's see, can I just bevel this one? That would be nice. Then I can just get rid of this triangle over here. Actually, I need to keep this going a bit longer and lead this down here. Because over here, there's again the seam, which actually, to be honest, like I should have marked just as a reminder. Ooh. Can I bevel this? Let's see. Yeah, I can bevel this. Okay. I'm doing some weird stuff right now. Yeah, now I have a triangle here. I should know better not to just randomly bevel curves, randomly bevel edges without planning ahead a little bit. Okay, so there's a triangle I want to get rid of over here. Well, that's fine. Ooh, the triangle I have over here. Where was that triangle? Well, to be honest, I could like mark them. I could mark them actually as red by marking the seams. It's actually a nice reminder. I should do that more often. Ooh, perfect. Well, maybe I could have them lead towards each other. That could resolve some of my troubles. But what I'm going to do instead over here is maybe, let's see, can I like bevel this? So I've beveled this all the way until here. So I got rid of this triangle. There we go. And this triangle over here is a bit more tricky. One of the things I could do is I could bevel this part over here. But that just ends up with a triangle over there instead. I already did that. It's weird. Huh. Am I missing some questions? maybe. Oh, hey, Falk. Ah, thank you for joining the chat. Okay. Well, I need to get rid of that triangle over here. I need to get rid of this triangle over here. Haha. Well, maybe I could... No. I'm not sure. Maybe I could actually make sure that these lead into each other, but I'm worried right now that this will cause spiraling. Not that much. Clear those seams, just so that these edges are not marked anymore. Well, I still have this one. Do I still have any other triangles? I don't think so. Okay, what I need to do anyway over here is bevel this part. Oh boy. Okay, so I have a triangle over here, and I have a weird triangle mess over here, which I just got rid of. Well, that was easy. Wait. Okay, I'm going to search for more triangles. So that I can do that by just selecting a triangle, Shift G, select similar, and then I can select, wait, based on polygon sides. So it actually found one more. Wait, no. In the current object over up here even more. Hold on. So I'm gonna select this face over here. Come on. Wait, is this even filled? Okay, Shift G. What? What is going on with this face over here? Oh, it was hidden. Well. Okay, Shift G, based by polygon sides. And where's the other one? This does not work as well if I have two objects selected. Come on, polygon sides. Well, there's only one face, so this is the only triangle left. Damn it. So, if this is the last one, I could try to get rid of it another way. So, one thing I could do is with the knife tool, I can just keep this going a little bit further and then just lead it into the edge, like the boundary. There we go. There we go. Okay. Perfect. And then I'll just subdivide this, and there we go. I have a quad. It's a bit of a dirty solution. It's not that nice, and it's going to cause problems. But it's the only one. I will deal with that problem later on. Now I can actually focus more on this part. There's some more questions. Is it a good idea to get a job with 3D modeling, sculpting, shading? Sure. I mean, it's not a bad idea. What is the best way to learn unwrapping? Ooh, yeah. I actually don't know a lot of good UV unwrapping tutorials. There's a really good one by Daniel Bystedt on YouTube. But to be honest, I don't know. Why are triangles in Retopology bad? Well, because of pinching when subdividing. Already stated that, but still. What is the best way to learn UV unwrapping? Is it really necessary to use a third-party add-on for UV unwrapping? No. You don't need to use add-ons for UV unwrapping, but it can help. I've also used some, free add-ons as well for UV unwrapping. Okay, here we go. This is the only asymmetric part at the center. Everything else I will keep symmetrical for now. Let's see. Can I bridge this? Like these loops over here. So now they, yeah, perfect. I'm just gonna work my way up. For the topology, that should be fine. It's a bit hard to see inside over here. Okay, so I'm going to select this loop over here and bevel it. Oh, I should also turn on snapping again. And then I could do this and get rid of both of those triangles, I guess. The greatest solution, but because there's still the n-gon over here. Ooh, there's plenty more questions. Have you used any add-ons while doing Retopology? Yes, the F2 add-on, which is shipping with Blender by default. I can really recommend it. You can look it up on YouTube as well if you want some video presentation of how it works. What's the fastest and best way to learn Blender? Well, definitely look up some courses, some beginner tutorial courses. There's plenty to choose from, but don't be shy to spend money, I would say. Like, there's also a lot of free ones, but I can just recommend going searching for some more quality ones, which doesn't mean that free ones don't have quality, but still, it's there's also a lot of not good, not very well put together tutorials on YouTube. It could take you a lot longer to learn. Well, I guess one of the best ways of learning Blender is from someone else, but first you need to find that someone. Come on. Yeah, I think this might work. I'm just trying to like push around those loops to find where they can be best placed, but it's already getting a bit dense down here. The loops are all kind of like squashed together. It's not good, but could be manageable. Let's see. Okay, that kind of works. Still got one loop which needs to go somewhere. But I also still need to add more loops over here. For example, this one, I still need to bevel. This one I still need to bevel. Oh boy, plenty more comments. Did I miss the live of shading, or haven't you shaded yet? No, the shading is still supposed to happen. How do we use Blender in Windows 10 without mouse but drawing tablet? Well, you can. Same as with Linux. What would you personally want to change or add in Retopology process in vanilla Blender? Well, the snapping. The snapping is right now a bit obscure and you need to work with a lot of modifiers, and it's not that easy to understand. It's working, but it's complicated, unnecessarily complicated. How can I learn complete Blender from one source, like website of Blender, and I want to learn everything in Blender from VFX to model? Well, that's the thing. You should look up some tutorial content as for beginners, and there you can learn pretty much everything, as like everything to a surface level understanding, which is fine. But if you want to really dive deeper into specific fields of like specific tasks, you should look for those specific people who are really good at it and making tutorials. You're not going to find a one bullet, magical bullet that will teach you everything in Blender on how to do it professionally. There's not a single source. You should draw like knowledge from as many people as possible. Possible. Go. Wow, so many loops going down here. I need to figure something out about that. Maybe this will still somewhat work. I hope so. I really hope so. Jesus. I can also lead some loops back into each other. And this would fix the density. Oh, oops. This was going too far. It would fix the density somewhat. Hey. Why is the tool not working? Come on. Hey. Ah, no. Damn it. Why is Blender stuck now? Hey, Blender. Hello. Okay, at least I'm gonna save. Oh, there we go. Okay. I was able to quit the software at least. Let's open it up again. And open Snow. I don't know why it happens. Sometimes Blender gets stuck in like a modal operator, but it's only on this computer. There's something really strange. Oh, this is like a nice little tip that I learned at some point. Like, you can like select two vertices and press J to split the face, like add an edge there that splits the face. But you can also do it in sequence, like do like this. Like, it will remember the order of which vertices you picked. You press J and it will then chain cut specific edges in. So I can select this one, and then this one, press J, and it will create these two edges. Can get rid of the one in the middle with Control X and bam. Is there some more comments? I'm gonna scroll up again. Me and my little brother made an animation that's Steve from Minecraft is dancing. Okay, cool. Yeah, animation is not easy. It's like one of the things I'm not even getting into that much. What do you advise someone wants to be making an animated series with Blender? Ooh, I mean, that's a lot of work. Definitely with, I mean, with anything really working in Blender is like, oh, Jesus. There's a lot of hidden tasks there, and we have quite a few videos on the Blender Cloud, like, that give a bit of a breakdown of some of the production hurdles we went into. If you're interested in that, you can look that up. Like, just in general, like workflow and pipeline, that's not something to be underestimated. Let's see. Again, same problem. I don't want all of these diamond quads to be right next to each other, because that's going to result in poles, like vertices with more than 5 connected edges, and that is really bad. I'm going to at least add another edge loop over here. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Now I at least have the topology over here. Should be good. I'm not going to bother too much about the center yet. Okay, now, let's see. I want to inset this. Actually, inset it, press O to inset to the outside, and then inset again. And that should give me enough resolution to model this thing completely. I'm going to keep it connected to the rest of the geometry. I'm not going to model it as its separate piece. That makes it a bit more challenging, but whatever. Let's see where this goes. Actually, if I don't have enough, like I can also just add another cut in the middle, and that will then just also give me enough loops to get rid of the triangles. Oh, move this up. But I'm really not a fan of this guy over here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add more loops over here. I don't really mind to have a bit more loops in that direction. Let's see. Get rid of these. I need to scroll down again. I have a question. Can you guys make a render for making the render look realistic? Because sometimes Cycles doesn't do that. I don't understand, sorry. Will Asset Manager be included in version 2.93 LTS soon? At least experimental? No, not yet. Well, it's still experimental, I think, in 3.0, but it needs a lot more work for in 3.0, so it's not in 2.93 yet. It's not in 2.93. Like, 2.93 is out. There's no yet. Like, 2.93 is finished. I think I can add another edge loop over here. There we go. Okay. I think this is already working pretty nice. So I think over here what I'm going to do is I'm going to bevel this and then merge these vertices. I'm going to just try this. Might fail, but I want to see if I can add some more definition this way. Okay, so that's basically it in terms of like the both individual sides, like the two of these individual sides. Now what I could do is I want to like move this one further down. just as a quick tweak. Should be good. Then I have like these loops a bit more distributed. That. Okay. So now I'm going to go into object mode. Let's see. I'm going to bring the other pants object back. I'm going to apply the mirror modifier over here, and I'm going to merge these two objects back with Ctrl J. Now what I can do is I can select these two loops over here, Ctrl E, bridge edge loops. Same thing over here. Perfect. Now I'm going to select the seams over here. For example, this one. And I'm going to bevel this one with another inset in the middle, like this. Some areas have like placement right next to a pole, but that should be fine as long as this center one does not have one. Okay. It's also not the best placement, but it's fine. I think that should be good. Okay, same thing on the other side. Selecting this entire loop, bevel with one inset in the middle. Now this should go all the way. This is a bit offset, but I can fix that. And over here, same thing. That should be it. Awesome. Some more questions. How much time did it take you to learn character making? Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, you can make characters pretty fast. Like, you don't need to learn that much to make characters in some way. Just for concepting, just for making a design. I don't know. You could learn it in couple weeks of that. No, like a month. Just like from sculpting, like getting like some output, but there's always more to learn. Like, I don't know where the end goal is. Like for production, I'm not sure. Depending on like, I mean, you could join a course online which will teach you how to create characters for production in record time. Learning it on yourself, that's something different. That's going to take you longer. Okay, so I wanted to also add the bevels over here on the inner side where the seam is. Like over here. Okay. Select all of this and just bevel it. Add another segment in the middle. Should be all good. Ooh, this is weirdly offset. I can fix that. Okay, and then all the way up here. Just keeps going. All the way until down here. I'm still finding it difficult to use a drawing tablet in Blender. I see a question. How did you set up yours? Well, I'm also just just exclusively almost working with a pen. So I also like to just use really cheap drawing tablets because they have all the functionality you need. So you can use any one of them. And what I typically do is just tapping with it is left click, just like by default. And the button next to the tip is middle mouse button, and the button to the furthest outside is right click. And then you pretty much can use Blender like a mouse, like with a mouse. The only thing you're missing is a scroll wheel, but there's ways around that. And in general, like, getting used to drawing tablets, it just takes time. You will get used to it, don't worry. But it is really important to get used to it. Okay, now I pretty much have everything set up. What I can do now is I can get rid of this piece in the center like this and just remodel this. Like essentially making it completely asymmetric. Come on. There we go. Let's see. Okay. Now I can just inset this, basically. Ah, come on. Okay. Now it is a bit offset, and I can actually keep this loop over here for... see. For now, for this seam over here. I don't know. And then maybe I can like do this. To have, yeah. To have these 3 loops for the for these little creases as well. There we go. So a question. I purchased some courses on Udemy for Blender by Blender certified instructors. What does that mean? How does Blender certified instructor system work? I'm not sure, to be honest, but it's tutors who got, who got basically approved by the Blender Foundation as people who teach Blender, like teach Blender well. I'm not sure, to be honest. What difference does it make if a few points are a bit offset? What is the reason for correcting every single point? Well, what difference does it make if a few points are a bit offset? Well, I mean, depending on how close they are together, they're going to cause more or less, like, pinching, essentially. So you want to either keep them apart for a smooth surface or push them together to form like a sharp edge. But apart from that, I'm not sure right now. Like, keeping points apart, I guess it's basically it. There we go. Okay, that should be good enough, I think, for this middle part. I hope. This is not the most the prettiest topology, to be honest. I would like to see how it looks subdivided. I think it's functional. I think this is fine. So with that, I would, for now, like move on, like move to the next stage. And for that, I'm going to do the same thing as in the previous streams. I'm going to like duplicate and apply the shrink wrap modifier. And, oh, let's get rid of the solidify. I don't need that. Oh, actually, I need that for later. Okay. Yeah, the thickness is okay. I'm going to disable it for now. And disable the subdivision surface modifier. And instead, I'm going to get the multi-res. And I'm going to subdivide it. Like 3 times. And I have the shrink wrap over here, which is currently shrink wrapping all of the details on top of the multi-resolution subdivisions. I'm going to apply the multi-res, and now like I have the details all in these subdivisions. But I want the base to look like the details as much as possible, like I showed in previous streams. I hope like this is not easy to follow. I'm like skipping a bit over it, not explaining what I'm doing. I'm sorry. Apply base. Now this should look more like the original. Wait. Can I show the effect? Apply base. It adjusted. And now if I use the subdivision surface modifier, it looks much more like the original. Not quite, but close enough. I need to fix some stuff over here. Let's see. Ooh, another little trick. Like if you're adding an edge loop, usually it's like putting it like as an average in between. But if you press E, it's going to kind of try to replicate the flow of one side. Like the little red dot is indicating which side. If you press F, you're going to flip it to the other side. So this way I can keep this one straight. Like that. I'm going to do the same thing down here. Also, I'm going to disable snapping now. I don't need it anymore. Over here, E, F. There we go. Over here, E. Oh. Aha! Yes, this is the thing I was saying that I was worried about. So if I select this edge loop, I need to do it another way. If I try to add an edge loop over here, it doesn't go all the way around. So instead, let's use offset edge loop cut. And now I can actually do it. There we go. But I need to adjust it a bit more, like connect some edges. There's so many modeling tools, like some which are not typically used, which can still be really useful in some cases. Okay, wait, I'm going to make sure that I can see the result of the subdivision surface modifier in edit mode. Like that. I think that looks good. Okay, now I'm going to unhide everything and only look at the retopology. Which means I can finally remove the hidden wire overlay and just model things in. So I can push around some of these vertices a bit more. Like that. Sometimes it's a bit hard to see, like this, for example, where what vertex is, but it at least lets you see the cage and the subdivided result at the same time. If you enable on cage, you see the subdivided result really well, both in edit mode and on the surface. Like that. Okay, that works. The knee looks really weird, to be honest. I would like to like flick in between. Yeah, it's looking kind of blobby. Maybe I can like push these a bit closer to each other so it becomes sharper. Same thing over here, push these down. Also, let's have a look how it looks actually in the model. Sorry if I'm not answering questions right now. Focusing a bit too much on this. Yeah, this looks already better. This looks way more like what I want it to look like. Okay, then I can push this down. Let's get back to the chat for a moment. I am finishing a Blender course for characters for games, but I'd like to have the pieces on my portfolio. Do you recommend any tutorials on presentation for character pieces? Ooh, that's a good question. Well, that's, yeah, I'm not sure. I always wanted to add like a tutorial on presenting your characters to one of my courses on the Blender Cloud, because that is actually really important. Like, I can give some tips. I mean, like presenting the model is one thing. Like, it's like the character itself. That's the first thing you should show. Like, not in a T-pose, but like in a pose, really well rendered with a good angle, and just make it as pretty as possible. Also make sure that if you present it somewhere and your artwork needs a little thumbnail, that thumbnail is like maybe like a zoomed in version of your character's face, or anything that is like a key thing that you're supposed to look at. Anything that makes people want to click on it. Don't put the entire character in a thumbnail because no one will be able to see it. But then I also really like to like show my characters, I mean, first and foremost rendered and well lit in a pose, but then maybe also in a T-pose. Maybe just like in a pose, but then strip away the textures and all the materials and just add the wireframe on top to show the model. There's like, the more material you can show, the better. It just also keeps people like scrolling through if you have a lot of material to show. And for characters, I also really like to render out turntables, just to show the character from all angles in a video. There's plenty to say about it. I'm not able to go much into it. I want to learn animation, but I don't have a rig. So will the model be shared in public? Yes, you can actually find a link in the description to the other character called Rain, which you can download for free and use for animation. There's plenty of characters online which you can download for free and then learn animation with them. Okay, I've said it like you told me, but when I sculpt or try it doesn't show. Why? Sorry, I'm not sure anymore what you mean. Said it like you told me. It's like it's been a while. Maybe the Retopology overlay, the like hidden wire overlay. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Sorry. Will Cycles X support CPU rendering? Sure. How to decrease the amount of vertices, because every time I sculpt something with Dynatopo, it makes hundreds of vertices. Well, there's a slider for the resolution. You could check out some more dynamic topology tutorials online, which should show that. Please kindly tell me, as I'm using 4 GB RAM laptop with integrated graphics cards, how can I speed up the cycles render? Well, for certain hardware, maybe like cycles is not the best choice. Like Eevee can help there because it's a bit more optimized towards real-time rendering. But I have like I would say a relatively beefy laptop, like still higher quality with like 16 gigabytes and with a pretty good graphics card and processor, but I'm not rendering anything on that thing. It's just going to get super hot and crash. For rendering and cycles, I do that on like proper rendering machines. Which, I mean, you can also hire services online to like render something, or use also free and open source versions of that. I don't remember what it's called, but there's like a render farm website where you can like donate your render machine for rendering, and in return you can use other render machines which people have donated to render your stuff. So it's just a big cloud connected network of rendering machines. I wish I had the name of that right now. Sorry. Like when you tap yours, it like sculpt, but mine not really. Sorry. I don't know. Like maybe you mean the slide relax brush? That should work in sculpt mode. How to make clothes in Blender? Not really getting into that right now, sorry. Can you recommend any courses on texturing, rigging, and lighting? Well, those are all very different fields. So I'm not sure. On lighting, I need to find some really good lighting courses myself. On text, yeah. Rigging, there's some, like look up rigging, or like courses in general on like various marketplaces like Blender Market, or like, I don't know, Flip Normals also has some good courses. Okay, let's see. Tweaking individual vertices to get like a nice curvature in areas that usually now have like a lot of stretched topology. Oh my god, I have like actually an area with 6 connected edges over here. That's not good. Yeah, no. I don't want to have that happening. No, that's not good. Okay, I'm gonna rip, but... Oh, wait. I'm gonna rip, but checkmark fill over here. There we go. Wait. Does this work? It's making it kind of more ugly in terms of the topology. But at least there's no longer 6 connected edges on one side. If I can fix this maybe another time, but I want this to be the last part for the retopology. I've shown enough. So I'm just gonna move on. I'm gonna mark this as a to-do. Come on. To do. Disable annotations. Okay, just so I don't forget. And over here, what I wanted to do is actually Let's see. I want to push these edges over here inside. So it creates actually more of a crease over here, as if the pocket is going inside. Maybe that will be enough. It's a bit of a cheap trick. Maybe it won't work. But it will at least give enough of an illusion that there's actually a pocket. And then in sculpt mode I can like push some of this around a bit more in a wide way. You can also use proportional editing, but I like to use sculpt mode. And then of course I need to replicate this on the other side, but for that I'm just going to do something else. Which days will you stream? I see someone ask. Usually on Thursdays, 16 o'clock Central European time. But I might actually shift it to another time. I'm not sure yet. But I would like to keep it on Thursdays. Do you use a pen tablet or pen display? Both. Or like either. And privately or right now in the recording room, I'm just using a pen tablet. At my workstation upstairs, I'm actually using a pen display, a Cintiq, but yeah, it's a bit tricky to use. I generally recommend using just regular drawing tablets. You don't need to upgrade to a pen display. Okay, here's the thing. I'm going to select this loop, delete the faces, delete this. Select this loop, hide, hide. Okay, I have all of this selected. Now with the cursor at the world origin and the pivot at the 3D cursor, I can duplicate this, Control M, X, Control M, X, mirror it over to the other side, and then with Shift N I can, come on, Shift N, inside I can toggle like correct the normals. Let's see. Okay. Actually, I'm going to undo this. Undo all of this. Okay. Select these two. Control E, bridge edge loops. And just select the outer one. Just the one, like the old one. And just slide it in to the other one. And it's with auto merge editing on. It should just automatically merge it. Go. And then the back pockets. That's also still something to fix. Thanks, it's working now. Okay. Will snow be made free to use? Yes. Just like with rain, it will be a free character to download. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep X mirror on, see what happens. So if I now select these edges and move them around, yeah, it's not working quite, so I'm going to turn it off again. Okay, move this around. go. Yeah, I want this pocket to look as good as possible. And then I can also just duplicate it over to the other side once I'm done. Also, I'm going to go into sculpt mode for a moment and just push it out over here so that it doesn't intersect with the body, even though I'm going to hide the body later on. It's good if it doesn't intersect by default. Okay, I'm going to turn off the subdivision surface modifier again for edit mode, just to see what's actually going on here. There we go. Push this up. Push this out. Should kind of work. Somewhat. It looks a bit blobby. Do you enjoy retopology? Seems a tedious job. Well, I enjoy it. It can be tedious sometimes. But as long as you know what you're doing, it can be quite calming. Like a meditative task to do. There we go. Okay. The thing right now with the pockets is that they do seem a bit harsh. Maybe I can like calm them down a bit. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so they are not that thick. And then in sculpt mode I can fix the shape a little bit. So turn down the subdivisions. There we go. Well, I mean, in terms of how tedious retopology is, that just kind of depends on the tools. Other than that, it is really just like solving a puzzle. Okay, again here I can just delete this side, select the same parts over here, and then just mirror it, duplicate it, and mirror it over to the other side. Shift N. Oh, also I'm going to disable auto merge editing for a moment. Duplicate it over to the other side, Shift N, and now I can bridge these edge loops, turn on auto merge editing again, and slide this in. It will automatically merge. There we go. Okay, I'm going to tweak this a bit more, but with X symmetry on in sculpt mode. But overall, this should be fine. I don't like the stretching that's happening here, but I'm not going to solve that in this stream, to be honest. I'm going to do that afterwards because I need to wrap up and I want this to be pretty much on the final side. Now, but if we look at this, like, this is now the result of the past 8 live streams. The last thing that is still missing over here is actually the shoes, and I would like to duplicate them over from the sculpt, which I actually got from the rain retopology. So these are already done. But I can go into sculpt mode, make sure all of these auto masking features are off. I also notice the scale is not applied. Okay. Apply also rotation. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. What is this? Oh. Okay. Now, I can at least make sure that the silhouette of the shoes is following the proportions of the feet. I don't mind that they're clipping through the sole right now, because the feet are going to be hidden anyway. There we go. Then I can go in here and just push this outside a bit more. Like that. So that the pants are actually on top of the shoes. There we go. That's it. And then same thing over here, like symmetry on. I can fix some of these things a bit more. And same thing over here. I don't want the shirt to be intersecting with the pants. There we go. To some degree it's asymmetrical, so I'm going to turn off X-symmetry. And here also, again, same thing. No intersections, please. Even though the body will be hidden, I want there to be no intersections. Awesome. I can disable the wireframes over here, the two eye objects. Perfect. Over here we got everything. We got the inner mouth, we got the inner mouth objects, we got everything. The last thing to do is really just to apply some of the modifiers. So for example, ooh, I already did it. Like on the shirt, I applied the shrink, the solidify modifier. So what I would like to do right now over here is hide this loop over here. Hide the same on the other side. Over here, hide this loop. And down here, hide this outer loop. Okay, now select everything in the center and delete the faces. And unhide the rest. So, because I could see it that like, if we see the rest, that the shirt can hang a little bit, so you can see a bit into the sleeves, which makes it feel like that's one of the mistakes I did for Rain when I retopologized her. I didn't give the clothes an inner side, and it made it look really like it's sticking to the body, and I think it can look a bit more dynamic if I allow the clothes to stick off from, like, to not stick to the skin as much. Like this. Over here on the shoulders, around the chest as well, not that much because I only had like left a little bit of the original inner side, but just a tiny bit. And then over here, same story pretty much. This should be a bit more snug towards the pants. I'm fine with that. There we go. And then with the pants, pretty much the same thing. I can like quickly put this into local view. Oh man, since when do I not have the... Oh my god. For pretty much like most of the stream, I didn't have the screencast keys on. I'm so sorry. Okay. Screencast keys, turn them on. Show last operator label. Yeah, now it's visible. I'm going to save the preferences. There we go. Some more questions. Okay, where are the latest ones? Do you, for freaking, are you gonna make a separate weight paint for the pants, or is there a way to make the pants follow the weight of the base mesh? Yes, there is. For the rig, the weight painting is probably just going to be done for the body, and then the clothing will basically get the same weights with a data transfer modifier, which makes it really easy. And I also made sure that the clothes are actually pretty much adjusted, duplicated versions of the body. Like the topology of the clothes and the body is almost the same, except for where the folds are. So this will make it really easy to transfer the weights one-to-one. And then another questions, what streaming app are you using? I'm actually using OBS for recordings in general. I really like the software. I can really recommend it. And then, then I'm just streaming it via YouTube. Another question. I use an AMD cardboard, but have some bugs and cycles. I report to site, but didn't fix it yet. Do Blender have intentions to fix the next upgrade? Maybe. I'm using mainly NVIDIA, so I'm not sure. Sorry, I don't have much info on that. Okay, but I wanted to go and fix the pants. So over here, I can also apply the solidify modifier. And then same as here, it's a bit more complicated because I never finished the top part. Maybe I can add it back at some point, but that's not going to be a priority right now. Luckily, we don't ever see the upper side of the, of the pants. So it's fine. Okay, I'm actually going to hide everything up until here. And same thing over here. I'm going to, oh boy, there's actually a little, yes, I know about it, of course. There's a little bit of spiraling. And then over here, same thing. I don't know. How much should I save? Guess this is enough. Okay, I can hide this. Can delete all of this inside. Delete faces. Unhide this. And that should be enough to give it some thickness that can be visible. So if I now go into object mode, and if you would ever look inside, there would be a little bit of thickness visible, at least a little bit. And then from here, I could just tweak it further, like bring back some of the sharp edges that I lost when I applied the multi-res modifier, the base for the multi-res modifier. this. But in general, it looks really nice. Like the shoes still work really well. I'm just going to hide everything from the body that is hidden under the clothes, but the body will still be very instrumental for the rig. And then the last thing to do for the retopology is really just some further cleanup. Like, okay, make sure that all the modifiers are applied, really. The scale, the location, and the rotation of the modifiers is at 0, or like scale is on 1. And make sure that everything has a material for viewport colors, because right now if I go to material colors, it's just all white. Whereas well, haha. Yeah, it all was white. Ah, damn it. Okay, but I need to give it some materials, because it should look like basically the sculpt that I had with a nice EV lighting setup, like basically like this over here. All of these colors should still be present in the retopology. I need to add those back. I see a question. How do we prevent the clothes we make in Blender from penetrating? Well, from intersecting, you mean, I guess. Well, it's tricky. Like, I kind of manually push them away in sculpt mode, or like inflate it. There's plenty of ways to get them out of the intersecting surfaces. But I don't know, like there's a different solution for specific examples. But I still have like, actually like my time is pretty much up. I've been streaming for like 2 hours and the retopology is basically done. Look at this. All of the objects retopologized. The feet are pretty rough, but that's fine. Some areas are definitely a bit rough, but they're usually hidden. The clothes look nice. I guess some parts could use a little bit more definition, like the seams, but that could also be fixed in shading. As long as as soon as I select everything, like I can just hide the subdivision surface modifier and the character still works. Like, this is the subdivision that the riggers, the animators are going to use. One of the things I have actually not finished is the retopology of the eyebrows. Oops. This is still, I think this is still the topology from the expression tests. So this is something I would like to fix real quick. So what I want is I want the eyebrows to follow pretty much exactly the topology of the underlying mesh. This will be really helpful because then I can make sure that if you move the skin like in rigging, you can make sure that if you move the skin underneath, the eyebrows will follow. But of course there's a limit to this. Like, I cannot, like over here, the eyebrows are going to look a bit different. So that's fine, but over here the topology is pretty much exactly matching, with a little bit of an extension over here. But now if I add a solidify modifier back, let's see. Like that. And I subdivide it. There we go. I'm going to add another loop, a couple loops over here. Like that. Just to frame this a bit better. And then over here, I can just... I don't know. Keep it like this. Pretty much that way. And I have some eyebrows. I can tweak this a bit in sculpt mode. Or with in edit mode with proportional editing. And then I can add a mirror modifier at the very top. There we go. Okay, but that is basically it. The retopology is done. All the hair objects are retopologized. Like these guys over here. All of it has nice retopology, which can be subdivided. The hands, just checking a bit over it. And then the only other thing, like there's little things that I would like to change. Wait, all of this was already done. I would maybe scale down the ears a little bit. That's just a little bit of a design tweak. And then I need to fix the topology over here, which I'm going to do after the stream. But in general, that's it. So I would conclude it over here. I will be streaming again next week, maybe with something very different, maybe set dressing. Maybe I will continue with the character and move on to UV unwrapping. So that's going to be the next big task. But either way, I will see you next week. Thank you very much for joining, and I hope to see you again next time. Have a nice week. Bye.